I thought the first half our defense was good except for McMahon. Each Joe left him once, Buddy left him once, Elijah once, and Quincy once. And the one thing we wanted to do in the first half was not to let McMahon get free, and that was the difference in the half. The second half, our guards did a better job. We found him better, but we didn't rotate and take away the inside play, and that was it. That was the game. They just got too many easy shots, obviously, down there. Uh, their defense was good the whole game. I thought their defense was just better than our offense. I think they're a really good team. I think they've got a chance to beat anybody. And tonight we just weren't good enough in the second half, defensively or offensively. Questions?
Jim, what would you attribute Elijah Hughes' struggle to tonight?
I thought they did a good job on him defensively. They just did. They made it hard for him to get by, and they just did a good job on him and Joe. They did a really good job on both of them. Marek, same thing. I thought they just did a good job defensively on those guys. The disappointment was our defensive breakdown the second half. I think that was the one thing that was disappointing about the game. They're good. They're going to win a lot of games in here. I think we'd have to obviously play very well to beat them here. We've played very well on the road. We played better on the road than we have at home overall, and we just didn't have it tonight in the second half, especially. They were pressuring, and we just couldn't really get by and make a play. You know, a lot of stuff has been written, and so we're not tired. We don't have a tired guy out there. We're not good enough at the end of the game in the games we've lost to win. That's the bottom line. I wish we were better. I wish we were doing something wrong that we could correct, but we're just not quite good enough. These guys have fought hard. I mean, to go down to the wire at Florida State and Clemson and to win the 4 road games that we've won, I think it's tremendous for the tribute to this team, what they've done. But we're young. We're still making some mistakes that we can't make on both ends of the court. Obviously, Barama and Marek are getting in bad foul trouble, and that's not something that's going to help us. But they fought very hard. But the reason we aren't winning at the end of games is we're not good enough. Sometimes that's just the case. And in fact, I think we've played better in certain games at the end and won those games than we might have. But this group's played hard. They're trying. They're doing everything they can to win games. And I'm confident that they'll be ready to play and play hard the rest of the way. But we just haven't been quite good enough. Tonight was a big example of that inside. We just couldn't handle them inside in the second half. And their defense was just good, better than our offense was. But I think they're a top team, top 10, whatever you want to put them, and we're not. Simple, pretty simple, really. You'll have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out.
This was David Johnson's first start for them. How do you see him impacting that team down the stretch?
I've seen him a lot. I think he's a good player. The guys that concern us are, Navarra and McMahon. Those are the guys that we're concerned about. And they're big guys down inside. Those are the guys that concern me. I didn't, again, David Johnson, I've seen him this year. I've seen him do some good things, but he's not a guy that I'm concerned about in our zone. I'm concerned about those guys, the big guys, and Navarra and McMahon.
Jim, this is the first game in about 3 months that you weren't in.
Mm-hmm.
What do you tell the players after this one, especially with 5 games left?
Get ready for the next game. This isn't rocket science, Mike. There's nothing about this. They're going to play 31 games this year. We're going to go out and try to play all 31. You're going to have a bad game. Every team basically in the country is going to have one, unless you're, Baylor maybe or Kansas or some. There's 3 or 4 teams that maybe haven't, but everybody else is going to have a game or two where they're not there. This team has been, I think, in the league has been as competitive as I could have asked them to be. We're not good in the middle. We have trouble with big guys. The reason we lost our non-conference games is we gave big guys, pretty much around 24 and 10 every game. We can't handle those guys. And, but we've played good at all the other positions and battled all year, and we'll battle. I don't know what'll happen, but we'll battle every game we play. We got off to a slow start tonight, and then we kind of battled back, hung in there. But their defense just took us out of what we were trying to do in the second half, and the shots we got, we didn't make, and they hurt us inside.
After the games
We'll
in
be ready to
Brooklyn,
play.
you said it would take this team 15 to 20 games to kind of reach its full potential. I think we're at 26 now. How do you think the team's kind of?
I think we played pretty well overall since the conference started. I think we've done what we could do. We're in the middle there. We've got 7 wins, and there's probably 8 teams in our league that have got 6 or 7 wins, something like that. And we're right in that group. We're not better than that. We're not worse than that. We're right there. That's where we are. And I think they're playing about as well as they can play, given what the resources we have, the players that we have. I think they've had some incredible games. Florida State, we had every opportunity to win the game, and Clemson, we had every opportunity to win the game, and those are good teams and tough to beat at home. And, they got away right at the end. But they didn't get away because we're tired. They didn't get away because we don't have enough guys. We got more than enough guys, and we just haven't quite been able to get the stops when we needed to at the end of games, and that's something we work on every day. We try to get better, but we're just not there yet. And I don't know if we'll get there, but we're going to keep trying. We'll try to be better Saturday. That's what we'll try to do.
Jim, with the way they were guarding your 3 primary scorers today, is there a way to get anything else out of the other 2 positions, or how do you sort of?
Yeah, we threw it to Marek, and he was 0 for 1 and had a couple turnovers. We threw it to Quincy. He turned it over twice in the offense. His offense is off the boards. That's where he catches it and puts it in. That's where he's good. We can't throw those guys, any of those inside guys, the ball. We don't have a post presence, so we're working with the perimeter guys to try to establish our offense from there. And our offense is pretty good. It's one of the better offensive teams in the league.
Today, though, was a little.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's see. We played 26 games. We've had 25 pretty good games, and tonight wasn't good. So what are you going to do? As soon as you mean after 5 minutes, we just should start throwing the ball inside?
No, I'm just saying when
We're doing what we can do to win the games. That's what we're doing. All right? And we're going to do that every game. All right? Period. And it's interesting. I love this. I don't know where this guy, he's making a lot of money, Ken Pom. But when you start putting in print, they scored 25% against the zone against Buddy and 25% against this guy. I'm telling you right now, no one in this room, nobody that's doing Ken Pom knows who's at fault when somebody scores on us. No one knows. Not one person. Because it's how we're playing the zone at that time. We may have the center up, so if it gets down there, it's not the center's fault if they score inside. It's the forwards. If we have the center back and they score down there, it's the center's fault. If they score in the corner, it could be the forward, it could be the guard, it could be the center. There's no way to pinpoint who's at fault in our defense. Even when I look at it, it's hard sometimes because there's certain movements and certain plays and certain situations that there's really not any fault. It's just they got a shot that we couldn't defend. That happens in any defense, but especially in zones. But to think that somebody knows who's at fault when somebody scores against our zone is the craziest thing. I've never heard of this until this year. I've been in this a long time. I think I know a little bit about this game. I've never heard, well, this guy's 25% responsible for this, and this guy's 35%. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, I could get a kindergartner who could tell you better than they can tell you who's responsible. I'm not looking at you. Are you paranoid? Didn't I look at you too? I didn't say you did. Somebody wrote it. I don't know who wrote it. But somebody also wrote that we're tired at the end of the games. We're not tired. These guys are not tired. The only guys that's a little tired is Quincy because he hasn't played as many minutes. But the guys that have been playing all year are not tired. Gillespie and Bay from Villanova play 40 minutes every night, hard as shit. They ever ask them about, are they tired? If you can't play 40 minutes in college basketball, then you're not in shape and you're not a good player. You get a 2.5 minute rest every 4 minutes. The whole game's changed. You can play as long as you want. And some people actually think, well, if he rests 2 minutes, that's going to make a difference. Are you kidding me? So 2 minutes, you sit Elijah down for 2 minutes. That's going to make a difference? He's going to be stronger because of that? No, that is myth, complete mythology. I don't know where that comes from. I mean, I know you got to produce stuff and all that, but let's try to stick to the reality. We lost this game because we couldn't stop them inside, and for good reason. They're pretty good. They're good passers, good shooters. They hit some key shots in the first half when we were in the game, and they're better than us. That's not hard. I mean, sometimes you just have to say that. I mean, I don't think we're rated in the top 10. Are we rated in the top 10 in the country? I don't think we are. I think they are. And they just came off 2 tough games. They're going to come in here tonight. You don't think they're going to be ready? They're going to be ready. They're going to go after it, which is what any good team would do coming home. But we're just not. We can hang there. This team has battled their tails off. Absolutely battled their tails off. At Florida State, at Clemson, those are 2 tough places to play. I think Clemson's beat Duke, Louisville, and somebody else at home. Besides us. Florida State, maybe? I don't know if it was Florida State? I don't remember. I'll take your word for it. If I say it and it's wrong, Mike will print it. So, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that. If I make one mistake, it'll be in the paper. But so I think Clemson's pretty good. We're down. We got the ball with 10 seconds to go, up 1. They made a good play at the end. We didn't. Our 2 big guys were fouled out of the game. That hurt. Florida State, we got a chance late in the game. They're really good, I think. I don't think they've lost at home. 1 game in 2 years, 3 games in 4 years. So we've battled hard. I'm happy with what this group has done. They're doing everything they can to win. But, and we'll do everything we can win the last 5 games we play. That's all we can do. But there's some reason that they're not winning. Sometimes we're just not good enough. That's all. All right? Thank you.